These Chinese cars are 100 years ahead of Tesla, Mercedes, and BMW. You think that's hype? You think that's clickbait? But by the time we count down through 19 vehicles that are rewriting every rule you thought you knew about automotive engineering, you're gonna realize the entire industry just shifted beneath your feet. We're talking battery swaps in 3 minutes, suspensions that let cars jump on command, and charging speeds that make Tesla's supercharger look like a gas station from 1950. The revolution isn't coming. It's already here. Let's start with what seems like just another electric sedan, Geely Galaxy E8. On paper, it looks ordinary. 75 kilowatt-hour battery, 340 miles of range. Another Chinese sedan trying to compete. But here's what they're not telling you. This car sits on Geely's SEA architecture, the same platform that's about to power 50 different models across 6 brands. 4.5 seconds to 60 miles per hour. 800-volt charging that fills the battery in 30 minutes, and it costs $30,000. Tesla charges $55,000 for similar performance. The Galaxy E8 isn't trying to beat Tesla. It's making Tesla irrelevant. But that's just the entry point to what's coming. ZEEKR 007, another fastback sedan in an ocean of electric cars. You've seen this shape 1,000 times. Sleek roofline, aggressive front end, the usual promises about range and performance. But then ZEEKR drops the golden battery into this thing. 15 minutes on a charger, 310 miles of range added. Not someday, not in the next generation, right now, today. You can drive from New York to Boston, charge while you grab lunch, and make it back before dinner. Tesla's supercharger network takes 40 minutes to do what ZEEKR does in 15. The 007 just cut charging time in half, while everyone else is still talking about it. And we're only getting started with what Chinese battery technology can do. Hongqi H9. This is the car that carries Chinese presidents to state ceremonies. 3-liter V6, pushing 283 horsepower, under a hood stretching over 17 feet of executive presence. You're thinking it's just another luxury sedan with a flag on the hood. But here's what makes diplomats choose this over a Mercedes S-Class. Level 3 autonomous driving, reserved exclusively for diplomatic transport. Technology so advanced that government officials trust it with their lives during motorcades through Beijing. The kind of self-driving capability that makes Tesla's full self-driving look like a student driver fumbling with the wheel. When your country's leadership won't ride in anything else, you're not making cars anymore. You're making statements. But diplomatic luxury is just one category China's dominating. AVTR 11, 750 volts coursing through this SUV's architecture. Most electric cars run on 400 volts. Tesla pushed to 800 and called it revolutionary. AVTR split the difference, and then loaded this thing with Huawei's ADS-2. Zero autonomous system. LiDAR fusion technology that processes data from sensors you can't even see. 116 kilowatt-hour battery delivering 370 miles of range. But here's where it gets terrifying for the competition. Huawei isn't a car company playing with software. They're a software giant that decided to build the brain for the perfect vehicle. The AVTR 11 isn't just an SUV. It's a supercomputer on wheels. And Huawei's just warming up with what comes next. Avatar 12. Take that SUV platform and stretch it into a sedan. 94.5 kilowatt-hour battery, 435 miles of range. You're expecting another premium electric car with good software. Then you sit in the driver's seat and the car reads your stress levels. Biometric sensors tracking your heart rate, your breathing patterns, the tension in your grip on the steering wheel. The Avatar 12 doesn't just respond to what you do. It responds to how you feel. Stressed in traffic? The suspension softens. The climate adjusts. The ambient lighting shifts to calming colors. Your emotional state becomes input data that changes how this car drives in real time. This sedan knows you're having a bad day before you do. But emotional intelligence is just scratching the surface of what smart actually means. IM Motors L7. 106 kilowatt-hour battery. 380 miles of range. Another sedan, promising to be smart. Every car company claims their vehicle is intelligent now. The word means nothing anymore. Then IM Motors does something no one saw coming. They built CarLog into this car, a social media platform. For vehicles, your L7 talks to other L7s on the road, shares traffic data, recommends routes, creates an automotive social network where cars communicate with each other like they're texting. You're not just driving. You're part of a connected network of vehicles sharing information in real time, learning from each other's experiences, getting smarter every single day. The L7 turned your car into a living, learning community member. And if you think connected cars sound advanced, wait until you see what happens when doors stop being doors. Hi-Fi X. 6 doors on one vehicle. You're thinking gimmick. Another automaker trying to stand out with parlor tricks. Butterfly doors have been around since the Countach. But Hi-Fi didn't just add fancy hinges. They created the NT door system. 6 independently controlled entry points that open in choreographed sequences. Front doors swing up. Rear doors swing out. The trunk opens automatically. And then there's the light show. 1,716 individual LEDs covering the exterior. Not strips. Individual lights. Programmable. Customizable. Your Hi-Fi X can display patterns, messages, animations across its entire body. 97 kilowatt-hour battery, delivering 340 miles of range wrapped in a vehicle that communicates through light. This isn't a car anymore. It's a moving billboard you control. But exterior theatrics pale compared to what's happening underneath these machines. Hi-Fi Z, 120 kilowatt-hour battery. 438 miles of range stuffed into a GT coupe body? You're seeing another sleek electric performance car. The market's drowning in them. Then you hit a corner and feel something impossible. Active rear-wheel steering, turning the back wheels independent of the front. Digital ISD suspension that's not just adaptive, it's predictive. Adjusting 1,000 times per second. Not per minute, per second. The suspension is reading the road, your inputs, the vehicle's balance, and recalculating its response faster than your brain can process what's happening. Every bump, every turn, every weight shift gets corrected before you feel it. The Hi-Fi Z is rewriting physics 1,000 times every second you're behind the wheel. And that's before we talk about what happens when you combine hardware with the world's most aggressive software ecosystem. Atto M7, family SUV. 7 seats. The kind of vehicle that's supposed to prioritize practicality over innovation. Range extended powertrain, giving you 807 miles of total range. Enough to drive from Los Angeles to San Francisco and back without thinking about charging. But then Huawei drops Harmony OS 4 into this thing. Not CarPlay, not Android Auto. A complete operating system that makes your phone, your watch, your tablet, your home, and your car talk to each other like they're one device. You leave your house and the M7 already knows your calendar, already adjusted the climate, already mapped your route, already synced your music mid-song from your living room speaker. Apple spent years trying to create this level of integration. Huawei did it in a family hauler. The M7 just turned your entire digital life into one seamless experience. But family practicality is just the beginning of what this ecosystem can do at the flagship level. Atto M9, flagship SUV territory, where automakers prove they can build the ultimate machine. You're expecting leather, power, maybe some fancy massage seats. The M9 has all that. Then you hit a pothole at 60 miles per hour and feel nothing. The tooling chassis with CDC dampers and air suspension creates what engineers call a magic carpet ride. But here's where it gets insane. Emergency collision detection activates and the suspension lifts 120 millimeters in half a second. 4 3/4 inches of lift in the time it takes you to blink. The car physically jumps out of danger before impact, not after. Before. It sees the threat and changes its own height faster than you can move your foot to the brake. The M9 doesn't just avoid accidents, it levitates away from them. And if you think lifting suspensions are advanced, wait until you see what happens when you redesign what a minivan can be. ZEEKR 009. Minivans are soccer practice and grocery runs. Nobody puts minivan and luxury in the same sentence. That stigma exists for a reason. Then ZEEKR builds executive lounge seats into the back of this thing. 140 degrees of recline. zero-gravity positioning that makes first-class airplane seats feel like park benches. 120 kilowatt-hour battery, pushing 436 miles of range in a vehicle designed to make rear passengers forget they're moving. But here's what breaks your brain. This isn't some limited edition concept for CEOs. This is a production minivan you can buy right now. Mercedes charges $200,000 for a Maybach with this kind of rear seat experience. ZEEKR put it in a family van for $80,000. The 009 just made the S-Class obsolete by being better at luxury in a minivan body. But comfort is nothing compared to what happens when you prioritize pure, violent speed. ZEEKR 001 FR. 4 electric motors, 1 at each wheel. You've seen this configuration before in hypercars that cost $2 million. The 001 FR puts 1,265 horsepower under your right foot. 0 to 60 in 2.07 seconds. Not 2.3, not 2.5, 2.07. That's faster than the Rimac Navara. Faster than the Lucid Sapphire. Faster than every production car Tesla has ever built. This isn't a limited production hypercar. This is a sedan you can order next month. Chinese engineers just looked at every acceleration record on the planet and erased them all with a family car that happens to have more power than a Bugatti Chiron. The 001 FR didn't break the performance barrier. It vaporized it. And raw power is impressive until you see what happens when you solve the one problem every EV owner actually has. Li Auto Mega Family Hauler MPV designed to move kids and cargo. 102 kilowatt-hour battery, giving you reasonable range for road trips. You're thinking this is where the innovation stops because practicality takes over. Then Li Auto introduces 5C ultra-fast charging, 5 times the battery capacity per hour. 310 miles of range added in 12 minutes. 12 minutes. You pull into a charging station, walk inside, use the bathroom, grab a coffee, walk back out, and you've got enough range to drive across 3 states. But here's the part that makes every other EV look like a science experiment. This works at -35 degrees Celsius, -31 Fahrenheit. When Tesla batteries refuse to charge in Chicago winters, the Mega is adding 300 miles in the time it takes to stretch your legs. Li Auto just killed range anxiety and winter charging problems in one vehicle. But fast charging means nothing if you never have to charge at all. XPeng X9. 17 feet 4 inches of van trying to navigate city streets. Rear wheel steering that cuts the turning radius down to the size of a compact car despite the length of a school bus. You're thinking that's the innovation. Easier parking. Then XPeng activates XNGP autonomous navigation. Full scenario autonomy without HD maps. You heard that right. Without maps. Every other self-driving system needs pre-mapped roads, detailed lane information, constant updates. The X9 figures it out in real time. New construction zones, detours, roads that didn't exist yesterday. It navigates all of it without needing someone to map the route first. This van is teaching itself to drive on streets it's never seen, while making split-second decisions in traffic. The X9 doesn't need instructions. It learns the world as it goes. And autonomous driving is impressive until you see what happens when a tech giant builds the entire car around their ecosystem. Huawei Maestro S800. Huawei spent decades building the technology that runs half the world's telecommunications. Then, they decided to build a car. DATS, 3 Intelligent Chassis. Turing Intelligent Chassis Integration. ADS-3 Autonomous Driving System. Those aren't parts borrowed from suppliers. That's Huawei's complete technology ecosystem deployed in one executive sedan. The same company that built 5G infrastructure just put their entire autonomous driving brain into a luxury vehicle. This isn't a car company adding tech features. This is a technology empire that decided to show automakers how it's actually done. Every sensor, every processor, every line of code, optimized by engineers who built networks that connect billions of people. The S800 is what happens when big tech stops partnering with automakers and just builds the car themselves. But Huawei building one flagship is nothing compared to what happens when you create an entire infrastructure that makes charging obsolete. Neo at 900 volts of architecture. 120 kilowatt-hour battery. Executive sedan with throne seats in the back that make Maybach owners jealous. Skyride intelligent chassis with fully active suspension that reads the road before you reach it. Administrative-level autonomous driving, trusted by executives who need to work while traveling at 80 miles per hour. You're seeing the ultimate luxury electric sedan. Then you realize something. This car was never designed to visit charging stations. NIO built 2,300 battery swap stations across China. The ET9 pulls in. A robot removes the depleted battery, installs a fresh one, and you drive away. 3 minutes. That's not charging time. That's total time. From pulling in to pulling out with a full battery. The ET9 didn't solve charging anxiety. It made charging itself obsolete. But even instant battery swaps can't prepare you for what NIO's other sedans are doing on the road right now. BYD Yangwang U8 Luxury SUV. Off-road capability. 7-seat comfort for families who occasionally leave pavement. Then, BYD installs ZEEKR suspension with individual wheel control. You're thinking adaptive dampers, maybe some extra ground clearance. Watch what happens next. The U8 rotates 180 degrees without moving forward. Tank turn. On pavement. All 4 wheels independently controlled, spinning the vehicle in place like a military vehicle. Stuck in a tight parking spot? The car spins itself around. But that's just the beginning. Emergency water crossing detected, and the U8 seals itself and floats. Actually floats. Drive it into a lake, and it becomes a boat. Blow out a tire at 75 miles per hour, and the suspension compensates so perfectly you can keep driving at highway speeds on 3 wheels. The U8 didn't just advance SUV technology. It ignored every physical limitation engineers thought existed. But even tank turns and floating pale compared to what BYD did when they stopped holding back. BYD Yangwang U9, 1,100 horsepower split across 4 motors, 1 at each wheel. 0 to 60 in 2.36 seconds, making it faster than almost every hypercar ever built. You're thinking this is just another electric supercar with crazy acceleration. Then BYD activates ZEEKR and the U9 jumps. The entire car launches itself off the ground on command, not over a ramp, not hitting a bump. It just jumps because the suspension tells it to. Blow out a tire at highway speed and the car keeps going like nothing happened. 3-wheel driving at 70 miles per hour with perfect stability. Drive over road debris that should destroy the suspension, and each wheel independently adjusts in milliseconds to absorb impacts that would total any other vehicle. This isn't suspension anymore. It's suspension that rewrites physics in real time. BYD built a hypercar that jumps on command, drives on 3 wheels at highway speeds, and costs $170,000, while Bugatti charges $3 million for cars that can't do any of this. These 19 Chinese cars aren't 100 years ahead. They're operating in a different dimension of engineering that legacy automakers don't even understand yet.